Hi ladies and gentlemen, today is February 18th. I was up late last night putting up that video about, the Russian intel that could help to bring down the U.S. establishment of pedophiles. And then I had a friend who wrote me this morning. Well, he may have written it last night, I'm not sure. But I want to read to you what he said, and then I want to give you my response. Now, I have a lot of respect for this man. As I said, I'm the gung-ho soldier. I'm ready to, get going and do things, proper planning and all that. But he's always kind of the balance to what I'm saying, and I really appreciate it. So I put that video out yesterday, and this was his response, okay? I am afraid that, oh, by the way, I'm wearing this for a reason for this video. And you'll see why. We need to go ahead with this and everything else. Whether we get the information from the Russians, the British, our own police and intelligence, which are, at least the intelligence services are holding back. Anywhere we get the information, and I'll explain that in a minute. This has to happen, so that's the reason why I'm doing this. So this is what he says. I am afraid that any help from Russia right now will be twisted around Trump's neck by the Democrats, establishment Republicans, mainstream media, etc., to hang him in impeachment. This false narrative as Russia as the boogeyman is just pure insanity, and the left just won't let up. By the way, he lives in California. Okay? That was his response, and I understand where he's coming from. I want to read to you what my response to him was. This is my response. If Trump starts collaring the pedophiles, the tune in the left will be largely negated, no matter where the evidence comes from, as long as it is solid. The left has spun uncovering corruption and criminality as attacking democracy. Pelosi's statement, for instance. They hide their crimes behind the term of democracy to justify their freedom, quote unquote, to commit all manner of crimes around the world above the law, just like Hillary. That's her definition of democracy and freedom. In fact, democracy means, when you break it down, demonocracy. I'd have to go through some explanations as to why that's the case, but at any rate, we'll just go with it for now. And majority rules. We're not a nation of majority rules. 2 wolves and a lamb, and the 2 wolves get to kill the lamb for dinner. That's not what we are. Our forefathers knew better than that. Even in ancient Greece, if everybody wanted to kill somebody, it was legal to do so. We're not like that. Okay, let me finish this again. Let me read it to you again. They hide their crimes behind this term of democracy to justify their quote-unquote freedom to commit all manner of crimes around the world. Democracy is demonocracy and majority rules. However, we are not a nation of rule of majority, but a constitutional republic. I say for Trump to double down, use anyone, including the Russian intel, to fully corroborate all the evidence and act to destroy these demons. Now is not the time to worry about their accusations and frivolous narrative. Quote, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead, unquote. I believe that was from Admiral Farragut. I might be missing my history there a little bit, but you know the quote. You've heard it before. They will destroy all if we do not go full bore on them. I liken this to D-Day. There is no other way. They are trying to control the narrative to protect themselves. Yes, this is dangerous. It could rip the entire country apart. Back in the fall, when we were talking about all this and that Trump needed to go on the offensive during the campaign, etc., we knew that a lot of the reasons why they didn't want to bring this information out is because when you find out that these are the type of people that have been in government, it can rip the country apart. And believe it or not, the Lexist Marxists will back up these demonic pedophiles and all the criminals. They will. That's what Marxists do to destroy a nation. Okay? So we're going to have to expect that. Will Trump get impeached if he uses Russian evidence? I'm saying that he probably has the evidence already, a lot of it, but to corroborate it from any other sources, like I said at the beginning of this video, is right in my estimation. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Eisenhower's not going to storm D-Day, on D-Day, not storm Normandy because the Germans are objecting, or they might shoot back. To hell with that. Now's not the time to pussyfoot around on this thing, okay? These people have created so much evil and have committed so many crimes and treason, killing our children, even killing their children, okay? When a lot of these pedophile rings, these Luciferians, they have their own kids and then they sacrifice them. That's not the kid's fault that he's born into a Luciferian, coven. We have to step up to the plate on this, and nothing can deter us. Not accusations of collusion with the Russians or anything else. Look, they need Russia, as this gentleman pointed out, to be a boogeyman, to try to get everybody to go along with them. This is a tactic. Always have an enemy to throw up in the face of somebody when you're starting to get close to their crimes and their corrupt actions. Pelosi says, oh, Trump's the great deflector in chief. No, Pelosi, you and your kind are. You're sociopaths. You project your crimes and your sins on other people so that you can try to skate and get away with it. Try to put them on the defensive. Now, we see you for what you are. When I was in the Command and General Staff College, wow, I created a lot of controversy there. There was and I won't give you all the details, but there was this exercise we did that had to do with some really big political stuff and military stuff on a grand scale in a theater of war, a large area. And I brought forth this rather different concept, and it sounded kind of ridiculous to a lot of the people that were there, because I do think outside the box. And you know what? I'm doing it again now. Okay, it is time to stop worrying about these accusations of collusion with Russia because we haven't got time to play the game. On a law enforcement scale, if you have evidence coming in of wrongdoing, but it's coming from a criminal, okay, let's say the Russians are the criminals in this game, it's coming from a criminal, do you think our system uses information from criminals? Hell yes, they do. All the time. Does that taint the testimony? Certainly. But then you have to verify, corroborate, and bring other things in. The more evidence you have isn't a detriment. Okay? It's beneficial. It helps the case. You show it from good people, good, strong witnesses that have been vetted. You know everything about them. They've been solid in the past. And you can bring in the criminal testimony, too, of an informant. Of course you can. They're doing it. They do it all the time. They even create criminals so that the establishment, the FBI, is really good at this, creating a criminal, and they call it preemptive investigation and all of that. Well, I kind of understand the procedure, but they've really gone too far, way too far, and they still get away with it. And I can tell you, I've actually been involved in some of the things that they've done. I didn't like what they were doing, and I voiced my opinion. This was many years ago. But at any rate, the point is, yes, I understand how difficult it is to vet and to make an informant's testimony worthwhile. I know that, but we do it all the time. Russia is definitely, you'll never get people like McCain and those guys to admit that Russia is trying to improve their entire system, their family system, the Christianity, all that. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here talking about that. But instead of helping them along, they put them down. Why? Because the military-industrial complex needs an enemy to justify its existence. The CIA, all those people. you know. And if we keep down this road, I made a video some time ago about this. If we keep down this road, we're never going to rise our consciousness to another level, to where we can actually become what God created us to be in the first place. Now, some people say, well, that's really simplistic. You know, you're an idealistic and all that kind of stuff. Well, hey, all right, what's wrong with that? Have we ever tried it? Reagan said it best: trust but verify. And we can do that. Keep our defense strong, not be patsies. No, but we are patsies right now. The Chinese have got us by the gonads. And we go along with that like that's okay. Taking over the Panama Canal, and we let them do that. Taking over Hollywood, we're letting them do that. Well, Trump's going to try to stop them. You know, saying that, you know, that Zuckerberg and his cronies and his likes need to control our speech. The Russians aren't doing any of that. So, to hell with it. Use all the evidence everywhere it comes from. Corroborate, trust but verify. You know, when you have a witness give a statement, and you can have another person verify it, good or bad, that's not a detriment. That helps. Okay, I beat that dead horse. Anyway, quick follow-up on this. I wanted to kind of explain that, because I realize that they're going to try to use the Russians as the way to get Trump to back off. No, you don't back off at this point. You don't back off. That's my estimation. Collar these people with all the evidence that's out there. Let them fight it in court. Oh, the Russians brought that up. They're not a verified witness. They're not trustworthy. Let the courts decide that. Let the jurors decide that. Let the people decide that for a change. And let's stop this rhetoric. It's time to cut the head off of this demon. It's spread out all across the world, but particularly in the establishment of the